Hey mates, and welcome to MtMtE's. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about Transformers Age of the Primes Slipstream in their Harrier jet mode. I also have, was it Air Raid? The F-14, and the other guy from the aerial bots, which just based on the name, like always, and Starscream. So, we've got these three guys together, and I'm going to do a quick size comparison to give you an idea of what they, their shapes and stuff, and then we're going to get into actually talking about the figure in depth from the blind perspective. So if you like what you see here, or you like what you hear here, and you want to help me raise awareness for the blind and the visually impaired, then please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. They go a long way to helping me reach more of the audience I'm trying to reach. Thank you all so much for your assistance in this, and now let's get into today's video. So, first off, I'm going to set the F-14 guy over here off to the side, and we are going to look at Starscream plus Slipstream. Now, if I put Slipstream on top of Starscream, we see that it's kind of... It's a little annoying that the aerial bots are so small compared to Starscream. It's a little wild, but it makes sense whenever you think about sizes and stuff. But still, it is a little wild that Starscream is so much bigger. Like, if I put Slipstream in the center, there's at least... Wait, did I find my... I did. I did find my Lego. Come on. Get out. Come on. Yes, silly Lego pad. There we are. All right, we got our Lego pad. Yeah, handy dandy Lego pad. I found it yesterday. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we're gonna... no, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. All right. Right. There. Okay. It's rough. It's a rough estimation, but the nose of Starscream is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 studs longer than the nose for the Harrier jet. And that's not even... he can't even go all the way to the back. I'm going to go ahead and assume that's 3 studs back there. Let's see. There we go. Right there, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I was off by 1. Wing-wise... Let's see, wings-wise, he is... Don't you fall. Hey, you stay in the center. That's a good Harrier jet. Yeah, good slipstream. Good slippery stream. Okay, there we go. And there. All right. Nuts. 1, 2, 3. So he's got 3 studs on each side, 4 studs in the back, and then 6 studs in the front on the changes between him and Starscream. Yeah, him and Starscream look decent together. I can imagine these two fighting in the air, but Starscream definitely seems a bit of the scarier jet with how big and robust it is compared to the tiny little Harrier jet. So that's Starscream comparison. We're going to move Starscream off over here to the side somewhere. If I can find a place, there it goes. And now let's take a look at Air Raid. I think that's his name. And here we go, a little Air Raid. And comparing these two guys side to side, we're going to put the Harrier jet on top of Air Raid, and we see that Air Raid and him are similar in lengths, but Air Raid seems to be just a smidge longer in jet mode. And actually, let's go ahead and do this to... Don't untransform yourself there. We're going to go ahead and remove his tail wings so we can get a better measurement. Yeah, I like the fact you can remove his tail wings. That's nice. Or his dorsal fins. Yeah, actually... they're about the same length. Seems like, the Harrier jet is just a smidge, like a half a stud longer. Wing-wise, they are almost exactly the same in wing spread. So that is really cool, and I really like how they've managed to get these aerial bots to be so close to each other in their sizes. And even though it does look a little weird with the, kind of squished down planes, it works for these guys. Definitely will be taking points off for squish down plane, but overall, I think that the comparisons are really good. If you would just stay transformed, I would be absolutely satisfied with you. You just never want to stay transformed. Oh, nuts. We're just going to set him there. Okay, now let's get into the in-depth talk about this little Harrier jet. Harrier jet, if you don't know, are made in Kingston, the United Kingdom. That's actually where I've been putting my videos for this series. I've been throwing them in Kingston because the Harrier jet comes from there. It's the United Kingdom. It was the United Kingdom's jet of choice for a long time, and it's understandable with a country like the United Kingdom and how small it is. There's not a lot of land for runways and stuff like that, so they came up with a jet that just goes, whoo, it can just lift straight up. And I'm pretty sure with the amount of land they have, this works best for the United Kingdom. It's not like America. They don't have Montana to put an entire runway system in or something like that. You know, we can put like at least 15 United Kingdoms in Montana alone. I mean, I'm grossly overestimating, but you get what I mean. So this was an amazing invention by the United Kingdom to create a plane that they can work with excellently and also can just kind of take off from a helipad. And that's cool. All right, that's awesome. That made it a very versatile weapon. Now let's get into its description and talk about the way it feels. We'll start from the nose and work our way back to the tail. So the nose here, decent nose. It's a bit of a squished nose, and there's this little notch on the front. Now, I don't really remember what a Harrier jet looked like too well. It's been a while since I've seen one. I just remember them taking off and stuff, and especially like that old Pepsi commercial. You remember the Pepsi commercial with the points, and then the 1 billion points as a Harrier jet lands? Yeah. So the little cockpit here is actually really well sculpted. I do wish there was some more lines to designate the edges of the cockpit, unless, of course, it's supposed to be all glass with no metal reinforcement in it, in which case this feels good. And there's a little bit of line work. There's actually not just a little bit, but they managed to sculpt in a lot of panel details into this guy. There's all these panels, like even at the air intakes on either side of the cockpit. There's these panels just on the other side of them. And I love that these air intakes are actually, the arms, but they turn them with the paneling. It makes it feel like it's an aircraft. It's not just smooth plastic here. And that's what I appreciate the most, is this isn't just smooth plastic. Come up here to the top, and we've got all sorts of other ridges and stuff. And interestingly enough, right there and right there, we've got these two little rectangular pegs that sit out. And I don't really know what they're for, but I do wish that they were circular so we could put in some of the blast effects so we could have like battle damage hitting this guy. That was one of the best things about the Siege. It wasn't the Siege ports. It was those little bitty nubs that stuck up that you could plug explosion effects into and make it look really good. I really like plugging the explosion effects in, and I think that's something that Transformers needs to do more often, is allow us to just plug explosion effects in and give us more of those fun explosion effects, because they were always a blast. So, back of the plane, all sorts of details going on here. We've got one single tail fin, unlike other jets that we have, which usually have two. He's got one single one. And then we have the two little side wings on the back and stick out. And they're each sculpted very well. We even have the little paddles in the back, the little flaps, so it can change its direction and stuff. And that's really cool. They even sculpted in the flap into the back of this guy. It's small. The sculpt work is very, very minuscule, but the tail does also have a back fin sculpted into it, so he can spin around in these directions. I think that's fun. He can go left and right with that pad back there. And then the wings themselves, we've got some really cool stuff going on with these wings. More of that paneling detail that I really appreciate. And I like that this wing has this little thing on the side. It sticks up a bit, and it's a little rough. Yeah, it's a little rough on the other side, too. It feels like some sort of vent, like an air intake or something. But when you remember, these are Harrier jets, so they're supposed to have rockets underneath that lift them up. So this is actually the air intake, I assume. Now, I may be wrong, but I'm assuming this is the air intake on the corners of the wings for the little jets on the corners of the wings to help lift it up. That's a nice little attention to detail. I like those little air intakes sticking up. And really liking all of these little panel details. This guy is just heavily sculpted. And then we flip him around to the underside, and we have a very clean underside. Unlike the Tomcat guy, air raid, whose underside is not clean. He's got this huge block of stuff there, and I still wish that they had managed to figure out a way to like fold these things back or something. They could have given him a little more length to allow this transformation to work better, in my opinion. But you just got these weird leg things, and I do wish that they hadn't pinned those in and you could just yank them out, and then you could have a really nice looking plane if you wanted to, and then you just have to put these two foot things back. And again, with air raid here, you can also unfold the feet, and then he can actually take off from a standing position. This is a good way to pose your air raid if you want to. There we go. Yeah, look at that. He could just pose in the liftoff position. See, he's got more verticality than the Harrier jet, especially with those stupid feet. Okay, back to Slipstream. So Slipstream's two gun pods sit on his wingtips, and they act as a couple of what feels like maybe Sidewinder missiles or something under each wingtip, and it works for the Harrier jet. It all works. This all comes together nicely to make a very cute little jet. I like it. I do. Now, is it S category? I don't think so. Ooh, there's vent. Yeah, I forgot to mention the vents back here, right behind the tail fin. And also, if we can do it, can we unfold those? No. They're not going to want to unfold on us. But those are the vents that allow the Harrier jet to lift off vertically. Now, my grade for this guy is going to be a solid A. This is an A transform, an A alternate mode. It's pretty good overall. It just seems like it's a smidge small for a Harrier jet. Just a little small in vehicle mode. And honestly, that's what all the aerial bots are going to give us in vehicle mode, is something that's just a little too small. But the robot mode did come out excellently. The transformation was definitely an A category transformation. So I'm going to give this guy an average of an A. We had an A plus robot mode, an A transformation, and an A in the vehicle mode. The aerial bots are turning out to be a wonderful little addition to your Age of the Primes collection, your Transformers collection. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I am excited to get the other two aerial bots so we can do a big old comparison, and that is just going to be fun. I love combiners, and I'm just so happy we get so many combiners. And Evan let me know that the Leo Kaiser has just they just finished the tooling for the injection stuff. So they're working on getting the tooling for the injection tools correct, and once they do that, they can start getting the engineering prototypes in and start working on them and making them the best possible combiner that Hasbro's ever made. I'm so excited about Leo Kaiser. Just ecstatic about Leo Kaiser. That is going to be a great one, and I can't wait to bring it to you here on this channel, because as happy as I am that thing's coming, I can't imagine how excited you will be to see a blind reaction to it. So thank you all so much for watching. Next week is Megatron, so long as Megatron arrives today. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.